Okay, this is part 2. I'm going to apologize. I was a little anxious. Never made a lot of response videos before, so I was talking really fast. I probably still am. But let's continue where I was. I was on a hard drive space, and I was basically talking about how on your actual hard drive, your Seagate hard drive, it says 750 GB technically. But with advertisers, I said this before, I'm repeating, but with advertisers, they say they use gigabytes as 1,000 megabytes. So you're losing 24 megabytes, or advertised megabytes, as for every gigabyte that you have. And like GRath said, on an 80 gig hard drive, you lose about 5 gigs, so you're getting about 75 gigs. But on a really big hard drive, you start losing tons of space because it's like ripping out 24 megabytes and they add up. So it's not an Apple or Mac OS 10 that's stealing your gigabytes. It's really just false advertisement that hard drive manufacturers do. So I'd like to get on the next thing. You mentioned that you brought this up. You mentioned it way back in one of your way earlier videos, but you brought it up again. Drawing / paint program, a simple one that Mac don't have. And before you even made your video, I recently got a Mac from my brother. It's an old PowerBook G4 12-inch, and I reinstalled Tiger on it, did some things, and I was trying to edit the Smiley Mac photo for an icon in AIM, and I couldn't crop it because I didn't have Photoshop installed, and I didn't have any other drawing programs. So that is a valid point, and I completely agree with that. You mentioned how Mac Pro doesn't have certain things like Photo Booth, and you mentioned a few other ones that I can't remember at this time. But the reason that the iMacs have Photo Booth is because when the iMacs came out in the laptops that came out with the built-in iSight camera, they came installed with Photo Booth to really showcase the iSight camera. And the same with Front Row, since they really made that on just the iMac and then they spread it to the other non-Pro, well, to everything but the Mac Pro, and that's ridiculous. And Photo Booth should be on everything, which actually in Leopard, Photo Booth's included in Leopard, and so is Front Row. So it's all on the. So it'll be, if you get Leopard on your Mac Pro, you'll have it, and it'll be on all the other Macs as well. So they did kind of mess that up, but some of the programs are really to showcase how like an iMac could be a media hub, and then with Leopard they're spreading it out to Mac Pros and everything else as well, and older G4 Macs and the like, and G5s. Okay, so the next thing you mentioned the Apple logos. See, I have a Mighty Mouse right here, and it has 3 little Apple logos, one on the back, one engraved in the front, one on the USB cable. And while Windows or Microsoft, they don't put a lot of cables on the PCs because they don't manufacture their own hardware, and they only put a couple on their keyboards. Lots of companies do this, not just Apple. I mean, maybe in the computer world, because really it's just Apple versus Windows. But my GameCube controller says Nintendo on it 3 times, which is the same amount of times that the Mighty Mouse has, an Apple logo on it. And while they do put a lot of logos on it, man, they're just trying to, it's an Apple. You see the cable, it's an Apple. If you just see the cable, if it's a mouse, it's an Apple. And that's Apple likes to advertise, and they just put it on their stuff. And most people who buy Macs are, diehards, and they like seeing the Apple. It doesn't bother them. For some people, I guess it could bother. It doesn't bother me personally. If it bothers you, that's fine. But then again, I kind of equate this to this. My friend bought an 8800 Ultra. It's a top-of-line video card. Bought EVGA. It says EVGA on the video card. And a lot of times, you have Windows, but his doesn't, so he's never going to see it on the video card. And it also came with like 4 or 5 stickers. Like a lot of times, new Macs will come with stickers. And it's really just to be like, because if you're for the brand, if you're for AMD, if you're for, EVGA, you're like, oh, I like this brand, I'm going to slap some stickers on some stuff, and, I'm all for the brand, I like to see the logo everywhere, and that's what Apple does with putting their logos on everything, and they also give you stickers. Funny thing about the stickers, one of the pictures you showed on your little logo montage was a Dell monitor with an Apple sticker slapped on it. I kind of chuckled at that. I assumed you put that in as a joke. If you didn't, I'm not laughing at you. I just thought it was kind of funny. Okay, next thing, viruses. Macs supposedly don't have viruses. I haven't been using Macs long enough to get a virus. I used to get viruses a lot on Windows, but with Windows XP, especially SP2, if you know what you're doing, and most of the time if you use Firefox, and if you don't go to stupid sites, porn sites, wear sites, stuff like that, you won't get viruses. I haven't got a virus in 2 years, because I know what I'm doing. But Apple advertises that they don't get viruses, which is kind of true. They don't get as many as PCs, but it's kind of it's bullshit. You know, I mean, people don't make for Apple because there's less people. It's like, why am I gonna make this if 6 people are gonna get it? You know. So I think their virus claim is complete bullshit, and they should stop doing it. And their ads, I think they're funny because I'm like in the middle of switching. My main PC is a Windows-based PC, and then I use a couple of other Macs, like just playing around with. And I eventually will be getting either an iMac or a Mac Pro. I haven't currently decided about that, but I don't hate Microsoft, and I really don't have anything against Windows XP. I don't like Vista because, like a lot of other Windows users or Mac users, there's a lot of problems with Vista. They'll probably be fixed with like service packs. And when a couple of service packs come out and it's a little bit more stable, I'll probably get it for my Windows machine because I'm always going to have a Windows machine and I want a Mac machine. Okay, your QuickTime Flash thing. I'm assuming this is a problem with Firefox because that's your web browser. I actually had a similar problem. I'm not going to say it's the same or even related. Slightly similar problem when I first installed Firefox and then QuickTime, like right after each other. Like the QuickTime will automatically set itself to play Flash, and then with Firefox it's not compatible, so I had to actually go in through QuickTime and change it from Flash, and then I had to go into even deeper settings and change it all for Flash to stop using it on my Windows machine. I'm like, that's ridiculous, but it wasn't that big a deal. And I'm assuming they just messed up with their update. I'm pretty sure you got it fixed. That kind of sucks. I apologize for that. Stuff like that. I'm running out of time again. I may make a tiny third video. Next thing, I'm curious. What do you use your Mac for? Why'd you bought a Mac Pro? I mean, did everybody in your first set of videos convince you to buy a Mac, and then you got pissed because you thought they were right and then they were wrong, or did you get it for another reason that you're not saying? I'm just curious. I know this is kind of off topic. I'm changing the Mac because I want to edit video. I love using Final Cut Pro. I used it in school and broadcasting, and I know there's some other ones. I know there's Avid on PC and Adobe Premiere. I don't like those. I like Final Cut a lot. I'm used to that, so I want to get a Mac to use Final Cut. I don't game that much anymore, so I'm kind of getting out of PC gaming. That's why I'm getting a Mac, but mainly for Final Cut because I love using Final Cut, and then I like some of the other features that they have that Windows does in Expose and stuff like that. So I'm just curious that what you use it because like Alfred A. DeBlasi username is A. DeBlasi. He says Macs are just a tool, or PCs, Macs, Windows. It's just a toolbox. So softwares are the tools. I mean, what do you use your Mac for? I'm just curious. Just want to get that out there. I think that's just about everything I covered. You mentioned something about Apple bragging, and Apple does brag, and Apple users brag a lot of times. Some arrogant ones do. I brag against PC. I brag against Apple when I was pro PC. But most of the time, it's Windows users who just openly and blatantly attack Mac, like, oh, Mac shit, and then they come back. But they're kind of snobby. A lot of Mac users are. So I think that's about the end of my video. I'm going to do a couple more videos. I'm going to do one, what I hate about Apple. What they just piss me off sometimes, what I hate about Apple, what I like about Apple, and I might just do an overall what I think of the debate, Mac versus PC. So if anybody's remotely interested, check into that. Also, quick shout out to the Blue Hour. I love your videos. G-Wrath or Gareth Hall's NZ. Love your videos too, man. The Cost, he hasn't been around. Love your videos. Molly Toaster, I even like quite a few of your videos. I like your debate, and you were one of the first PC guys to really show some stuff. I think you digressed a little bit. Okay, ending it now.